Hey guys, welcome to TB World. In this video, I'm going to be predicting next season's table. First, Manchester City. Last season was sort of mixed for City, scoring 102 goals and conceding 35. Their attack was still the best in the league, but their failure to replace Vincent Kompany and the injury Emerick Laporte suffered at the early stages of the season really weakened them, and Pep was left with no other option than to use defensive midfielder Fernandinho as the centre-back. Last season they had 8 errors leading to goals compared to 18-19 seasons 2. They conceded 35 goals compared to 18-19 season 23. They lost 9 matches compared to 18-19 seasons 4, but it seems with the signing of Nathan Ake they might have fixed their defensive problem, and that's why I'm predicting them to win the league. Second, Liverpool. Liverpool had a great season and they'll be looking to win the Premier League title this upcoming season, but I think they need to strengthen their squad this summer. They need a world-class midfielder like Thiago Alcantara who can control the tempo of games and on his day could dictate the outcome of a match. Not just Thiago, they need a backup striker that can fill in for any of the front three in case of injuries. I could see Memphis Depay doing that job, though he might not want to sit on the bench. I feel they won't sign any first-team players, so I see them finishing behind City. Third, Manchester United. United seem to have got the Jadon Sancho deal in the bag, so I think they would also need a centre-back, an attacking midfielder, a defensive midfielder, and they would have to get Dean Henderson back from Sheffield United. I think they would also need to offload a lot of players like Juan Mata, Jesse Lingard, Andreas Pereira, Phil Jones, Alexis Sanchez and Chris Smalling. It seems like a lot of work, and I believe United won't be able to do all of that this summer. That's why I'm predicting them to finish third this season behind Liverpool. Fourth, Chelsea. Chelsea seem to be the team that are going to spend the most this summer, and I hope they don't forget about strengthening at the back because they have obvious problems at centre back and left back, but they seem more focused on galvanizing their attack to become one of the best in the world. I predict that they'll finish fourth, a few points behind Manchester United. Fifth, Arsenal. Arsenal under Mikel Arteta look like a team with a plan. If they can keep Aubameyang and they can get another centre-back to partner William Saliba, they begin to look like a very good side. I hope they can also make the loan move for Real Madrid's midfielder Dani Ceballos permanent. If they can get some decent players in, I believe they could be strong contenders for European places. Sixth, Wolves. Last season, Wolves were unlucky to miss out on a top 6 spot. They drew 14 matches out of their 38 fixtures, most of which were winnable, but this season it seems like Nuno will strengthen his squad, and that's why I can see them finishing 6th. 7th, Tottenham. Most of you think I'm crazy by predicting that Jose Mourinho, one of the best managers in the world, would finish 7th, but hear me out first. Daniel Levy won't give Jose Mourinho the freedom and money he wants to transform Tottenham into a Champions League cup. That's the reason why I see them finishing 7th. 8th, Leicester City. I personally believe Leicester doing so well last season was solely because the other teams around them all had bad seasons, and the teams are definitely going to strengthen this summer. I also believe that they are going to be hurt by their Europa League and their busy schedule. That's why I can see them finishing 8th. 9th, Sheffield United. They are a type of club that seem to be ambitious with a great style of football, and Chris Wilder has showed us that he is a top manager, and I believe that 9th won't be a bad position for them. 10th, Everton. With Carlo Ancelotti at the helm, I believe that he will improve this Everton side, but I think the teams above them are slightly better. 11th, Southampton. If Danny Ings can keep himself fit and replicate the form he showed last season, I predict Southampton to finish the 11th. 12th, Brighton. Graham Potter's Brighton side play a wonderful style of football, and I believe new players like Adam Lallana would help them finish comfortably at 12th. 13th, Burnley. Burnley have one of the lightest squads in the league, and that has caused a couple of problems for them over the years, and I see it happening again, and that's why I see them finishing 13th. 14th, West Ham. It was hard to try and pick where West Ham would finish because of the players, and I think if all of their players are fully fit and on form, they have a squad as good as Leicester's, but I'm not sure about the form and fitness, so I predict them to finish 14th. 15th, Leeds. Leeds need to make a couple of signings this summer because a lot of their players are on loan, and if they can sort out those deals, I believe their first season back in the Premier League since 2004 will be a success. And they also have to hold on to Marcelo Bielsa because he's the main reason they got promotion. 16th, Fulham. They will struggle next season, but I believe players with Premier League experience like Mitrovic and Knockout can guide them to safety in the Premier League. 17th, Newcastle. Newcastle fans must be beyond gutted that their takeover didn't happen. They were all fantasizing about the prospect of seeing transfers like Philippe Coutinho to Newcastle. They were on the verge of acquiring the funds they needed to start slumming it out with the big boys, but that doesn't look like happening anytime soon. So I predict another tough season for Steve Bruce's men, but they will just survive the relegation battle. 18th, Crystal Palace. Wilfred Zaha is probably on his way out of Palace this summer, and if that happens, I expect us to see Palace relegated at the end of the season. 19th, West Brom. They were lucky that Brentford had a collapse. If not, they probably wouldn't have made it to the Premier League. I predict them to go back straight down to the Championship. 20th, Aston Villa. Villa will probably lose Jack Grealish this summer, and I feel like that will be the main factor for them finishing at the bottom of the league.